Hello everybody, I'm Ahmad, Rashad, and this is REALTV.
The person has put himself in such a position that anything can happen.
A man's desperate bid to get away takes a terrifying turn. Shocking surveillance tape. A man attacks a clerk with a crowbar. Here's what happens when too many cars hit a tight turn. Plus, something is very wrong with this bungee jump. And that's no place to parasail. It's another 30 minutes of the shots you don't want to miss. Right now on REALTV. Here's Ahmad Rashad.
Welcome to the show. We begin today with a man who commits a vicious crime, then puts even more people in danger trying to run from the police.
Cops want to arrest the driver of this car for the brutal shooting of 2 pregnant women. Now he roars down the highways of Phoenix, Arizona, trying to make sure that doesn't happen.
It does get very dangerous, not only to the suspect, but to the officers, but the general public.
A police chopper desperately tries to keep the crazed driver in sight. Cops finally catch up and attempt a blocking move. Frustrated cops are back in hot pursuit. So far, the chase has been dangerous. Now it turns truly terrifying as he makes a U-turn on the freeway.
The person has put himself in such a position that anything can happen. The suspect came very close to causing several serious accidents. By the grace of God, that nobody got hurt.
Now he's headed back the right way and headed for big trouble. He waves and roars up a ramp to an overpass. In slow motion, you can see the car skid along the wall, teetering right on the brink.
He skid some 200 feet with the bottom of the frame on the wall, an inch left or right. He would have gone over the wall and probably 30-40 feet drop.
The motorcycle cop smashes a window and finally grabs the man.
He's been charged with 2 counts of attempted murder, 1 count of felony flight, 1 count of leaving the scene of an accident, and there's other charges pending.
Looking at this footage, he should count his blessings that he's still alive.
Round and round she goes. Where she stops, well, we know. It's coming up next here on REALTV.
Daring drivers jockey for position in Germany. But this is one event that will be etched in driver Marco DuPaul's mind forever. First, a rival clips Marco's car, ripping off part of his spoiler. Seconds later, that same driver cuts him off, and the results are truly horrifying. A second angle shows just how far the somersaulting wreckage flies before landing in a crumpled heap. Fearing the worst, officials immediately stop the race. Moments later, the crowd catches an amazing sight. That's Marco surrounded by officials, standing on his own 2 feet. Just days later, this brave Dutch driver shows a reporter his injuries. But there's a second miracle. Look at the video, and you can see a photographer nearly get hit by the car and flying debris. Seems 2 lucky people escaped with their lives this day.
This is America's #1 source for the wildest shot ever caught on tape. This is REALTV.
It's a slow night at a Cincinnati convenience store. Then a customer walks in. 4 security cameras are rolling. Camera 1 surveillance footage shows the man buying a pack of cigarettes. Then he leaves, but not for long. Camera 4 shows the man grab something out of his car and head back in. gets pounded again and again with a crowbar. Next, the attacker needs help getting the cash register open, but the clerk isn't much help.
Where? The one where it says those tails in the middle. Which one, right?
Minutes later, the clerk manages to get up. Surveillance video shows the man covered in blood. While the suspect waits for the money, he decides to try and wipe away his prints. The clerk's in incredible pain, but he's starting to get angry. But this guy won't leave without the money. Then the clerk, already disabled, grabs his walking cane. The man limps after his attacker, but it's too late. The guy jumps in his car and takes off, but he doesn't get away for long. Thanks to the store's surveillance video, police make an arrest. The man's convicted of aggravated robbery and aggravated assault and gets 3 years behind bars.
Tell a friend you're watching Real TV.
The young woman on our next tape makes a simple move to save herself from a little embarrassment and ends up with a much bigger problem.
In Missouri, bungee jumpers get set to conquer a 105-foot crane at the local fair. One man rolls tape as his friend takes the first terrifying leap out of the dangling cage. He gets the thrill of free fall and makes it to the ground. But watch the young woman in white. The operator shows her how to leap out of the cage with her arms spread out. But as she gets ready to jump, she clamps one arm to her side, then steps off the edge. This jump down is a disaster. The woman panics. She grabs her shirt, then the giant rubber band, and her arm snaps. Just what went wrong? Instead of focusing on the fall, she tries to keep her shirt from flying up, and that little bit of modesty ends up causing her a lot of pain.
Still to come. A chemical fire rages. This one's a ticking time bomb. Plus, nice jump, bad stop.
Still the first and still the best. You're watching Real TV. Expect an eyeful. This is Real TV.
Welcome back. In our next few tapes, we have go-karts, motorcycles, and cars. Bet you can guess what that means. Crashes.
Go-karts fly at top speed, but struggle to grip hairpin turns at a raceway in Argentina. How fast do they go? That fast. One of the racers flips another full throttle and flips. Both vehicle and driver fly head over wheels. Luckily, he suffers only a few minor bruises. More hardcore spills at California's Sears Point Raceway. Bikers take off in a tight pack, but for some, it's a little too close for comfort. The trouble starts here, when racer Billy Vasallo slips on the first turn. The result? A 12-bike pileup. A chopper arrives to airlift Billy to the hospital. He breaks a few bones and punctures his lung. And in Argentina, some drivers can't seem to stick the turn at a race in Buenos Aires. The faster they go, the harder they crash. Watch again. One car smacks into a wall of tires and double flips onto the track. A tire rolls into the middle of the race, almost causing another accident. A wild spin, but luckily the driver only bruises his arms and legs.
Nobody, nowhere does it as good as Real TV.
There's nothing like family. And for this Florida clan, the family that steals together gets caught together. Special Agent Michael Washam.
Okay, what we have on this video is a theft that occurred at a local grocery store in the West Palm Beach area. You're going to see the thieves, which are two females, approach a lady, and the lady's been distracted by this gentleman right here. And you'll see her take the lady's wallet. The other woman is there just to make sure the distraction works.
And they're just getting started.
One of the subjects attempts to grab her purse, and she happened to turn. And at that point, the victim puts her hand on her purse, which prevents them from making her a victim.
Watch again. Talk about a close call. Thanks to good instincts, the lady keeps her hand on her purse, forcing the thieves to move on.
But as they exit, they are approached by a security guard.
Game over.
The videos that were obtained during the investigation helped us tremendously in substantiating who the players were in the case.
7 people are busted.
We did charge them with racketeering. They face up to 20 years in jail.
Investigators say this family lifted thousands, possibly even millions of dollars.
Continuous, non-stop video back-to-back. You're watching Real TV.
Roaring flames and thick black smoke fill the night sky as the chemical fire rages out of control. 125 firefighters and 30 trucks are battling the blaze. And right now, the blaze is winning. Even more danger lurks inside the building. Hundreds of barrels of highly combustible polyurethane liquid, ticking time bombs. The first explosion blows flames and smoke 100 feet into the air. More explosions rattle the neighborhood. Luckily, no one's inside. Firefighters have their hands full trying to get control of the blaze. They pour thousands of gallons of water on the flames. Still, the fire rages on. Another explosion goes off like an aerial bomb. You can see the burning chemicals feeding the fire's frenzy. As the flames whip around faster and faster, an amazing sight, a tornado of fire forms. It's mesmerizing and deadly dangerous. The building's a total loss, but after 12 long hours, firefighters finally put out the blaze.
Straight ahead.
He will have an injury timeout.
They'll need more than that. His heart just stopped.
They are pumping his chest.
Can they bring him back to life? Plus, mechanical beasts battle to the death.
Don't go away. There's lots more where that came from. Right here on Real TV. On Real TV. Where else?
Welcome back to the show. The people on our next tapes share one unfortunate thing in common. They're all headed straight for trouble.
These BMXers are psyched. There's a jumping part in a backyard in Utah, and they live to rip it up. From killer moves to busting 360s, grabbing air for these guys is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Yeah!
Oh. Jumping's the easy part, but this kid's hand slips off the brake and he smacks into a truck. He gets up a bit shaken, but okay. More trouble at a car rally in Spain. The car oversteers to the bend and runs into the crowd. Fortunately, no one gets hurt and the driver is out of the race. Elsewhere in Spain, paragliding in the mountains is a great way to play. But this guy gets a little too close to the city. The wind takes a turn for the worse, and the glider smashes into a house. He gets 2 broken bones and a nasty headache.
A certified 100% Real TV hero happens to be just around the corner.
midway through the season.
In Arkansas, the Springdale Bulldogs battle arch-rival Fayetteville High in one of the biggest games of the season.
Fayetteville has won the toss and has elected to kick to get underway again.
And the local cable station calls the action.
Here's the snap to move. He turns, hands off the right.
It's a defensive showdown. But by the third quarter, Springdale's in the lead 18-7.
They have, however, been able to...
Leading the Bulldogs' Big D is number 72, Mackenzie Phillips.
And who does he find but big Mackenzie Phillips, 6'6", 257. He, the senior at many colleges, are looking at. Young man is now hit hard by Brian Hensey, and will be knocked down, but
It's a routine tackle, but not a routine rebound. Mackenzie's out for the count.
And we have a Springdale player who is down and injured. And we will have an injury timeout. And I believe it is Mackenzie Phillips in there.
He's not moving.
Does not look terribly serious.
But it is serious. Mackenzie goes into cardiac arrest. His heart stops.
Well, now they're asking for a paramedic.
Nervous fans watch and wait.
Hey, they are pumping his chest.
Paramedics work feverishly to save Mackenzie's life. His heart's been stopped for more than 10 minutes. Finally, rescuers jolt him back to life. Now it's a race to the hospital.
I remember waking up in the hospital. I remember vaguely trying to get up, and I remember my mom talking in my ear.
Mackenzie's heart attack was asthma-related. Doctors say it was the CPR that saved his life.
They never gave up. For 42 minutes, they pounded on my chest. That's what I wanted people to know about me, that I didn't want to give up.
More great shots are queued up and ready to roll. You're watching Real TV. You're watching Real TV.
Before we go, we wanted to show you some of the biggest, baddest fighters around. And they're not even human.
This might look like science fiction, but it's actually science reality. You're watching remote control robots fighting for heavy metal supremacy. A group called Survival Research Labs builds these destructo droids out of spare parts. There are different shapes and sizes, but each machine is designed for the same thing: inflicting damage. Some call it a sport. Others call it a spectacle. But to the inventors of these monster machines, it's a robotic battle to the death.
So what's the upside of having your robot warrior destroyed? Can't think of one. That's going to wrap it up for another Real TV. But we leave you with some athletes bringing this sport to a new height and also a new low. So long, everybody.